What is the key factor to being able to move abroad and to stay abroad long term? Well, there are a lot of things that go into play to make that happen. But if you have this one factor, you have a greater likelihood of success. In this video, I'm going to share with you what that factor is and how you can build that in yourself. Now, if you're new here, thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing and clicking the notification bell. If you already have subscribed, I want to thank you. My name is Patricia Brooks, and I moved to the south of France just about 5 years ago. And I did so even though I before had not seen myself as this kind of person. So in order for me to make my move abroad, I had to embody the self-identity of the kind of person who moves abroad. And this is a key factor in having success and making a move abroad. And you can apply this to any goal that you set out to. You need to become the kind of person who moves abroad, or to become the kind of person who starts a business that is financially viable, or to become the kind of person who loses 50 pounds, right? You have to embody the self-identity of the end state. And that is the key factor that I'm talking about here. As I said at the top, there are so many other factors that go into place in being able to move abroad and then maintain your residence there for a long period of time. But this is a foundational principle, okay? And I want to give you an example. Later on, I'm going to share with you how you can start to develop that kind of identity. But I want to start off with an example of what I mean, because you might be saying, what kind of person do I need to become? That doesn't make any sense. In 2000, I signed up for Weight Watchers and I lost about 50 pounds. And it felt so good. But maybe a year and a half later, I had put every ounce back on. And that was because I had done the steps, I had taken the steps to lose the weight, but I did not embody the characteristics or habits or beliefs of the kind of person who believes themselves to be thinner so that I could maintain it. So I signed up for Weight Watchers. I did the work. I felt I had won, and then I went back to my old habits, right? Ever experienced something like that where you have set a goal, you've reached the goal, but then somehow you find yourself backsliding? Give this video a thumbs up if that has ever happened to you. So fast forward about 11 years, I was still at that weight, about 200 pounds. And I decided I wanted to do something where I felt like I was in more control of my life. And I'd remembered that Weight Watcher experience felt like I had control when I was doing it. So I signed back up for Weight Watchers. And when I went back, I walked in the door of the center and there was a familiar face there, Kathy. She always used to weigh me in. And I went to her counter and I said, I'm back. And I felt so bad, like I had failed. And one thing that she said to me was, well, if you never stop coming, you never have to feel that way again. And that was a shift for me because I'd done the work. I'd gone to the Weight Watcher meetings in 2000. And I had success, but I stopped doing the thing that got me there, that made me successful. And so I vowed that I would continue to go to Weight Watchers meetings. Well, so this second time around, I lost 75 pounds and I've kept it off for 9.5 years. And that's due to the fact that I began to see myself as the kind of person who loses 75 pounds and keeps it off. I began to see myself as a thinner person. And as a result, I did what thinner people do. I continued to go to the Weight Watcher meetings weekly and weigh in. I continued to track my points for a period of 2.5 years after, right? I started to have the habits and embody the beliefs of the kind of person who is thin, who loses weight and keeps it off. So that is what I mean when I say it's so important for you to self-identify as the kind of person who moves abroad confidently and sustainably, or else you are going to have habits and beliefs that don't serve you. And while you may make some progress, you might find yourself procrastinating or in some other way sabotaging yourself and your progress because you don't believe that it's going to happen. So self-identity is so important. So does that make sense? Okay. So now I'm going to give you a process so that you can become the kind of person who reaches the goals you set out for yourself. In this instance, I'm going to say how to become the kind of person who moves abroad confidently and sustainably. Okay? Now, this is a process that I use with the members in my program, and it is quite effective. And the first step in the process is to write a list of the personality traits, habits, and beliefs of somebody who moves abroad confidently and sustainably. Somebody you know personally, you can think about them and what habits they have, what beliefs or thought patterns they have, what personality traits they have, and just list all that come to mind. Now, if you don't know somebody personally, you can, but you know of people who have moved abroad like me, you can write down what you think their personality traits are, what habits they have, and what they believe. Now, if you don't know them personally, it might be harder to discern what they believe. But if you're watching somebody on YouTube like me, you can learn a lot about what somebody believes by what they say. Now, I did a little bit of research on the internet and I came up with a list of, I don't know how many traits. And this is just a smattering of them. These are the ones that rank the highest. And so you may want to consider these as you are creating your list. Now, the second step in the process is to highlight 10 personality traits or habits of the kind of person who is successful in a move abroad. Then I want you to narrow that down to the top 5 in your opinion and just circle those. Now you've got the top 5 personality traits, characteristics, or habits of a successful expat. Now the next step is for you to look at yourself. Take an inventory of those top 5. Which ones are you good at? Which ones would need improvement? All right. And the way you can do this is by ranking them. You can put a 1, a 3, or a 5 next to each of the top 5. A 1 means that you have very little of that habit or personality trait. A 3 means you have it, or you do it, but not consistently. And a 5 means, yeah, I own this. This is a personality trait I own, or this is a habit that I do religiously. And so that's step number 2. The step number 3 is to look at your ratings and see which ones have a score of a 1 or a 3, because those are ones that you could use, that you could stand to use some improvement on, right? And then from there, if you've got more than 2, you can say, okay, I'm going to tackle this one first because I think that will help me with the others, or this one first because this is the one that I need the most work on, or however you decide which one you want to work on first. And then create a plan to build that habit, to create that belief, or to improve that skill or characteristic in you. Now, how do you do that? Well, you can work with an accountability partner and say, hey, this is what I'm working on, and I would like some assistance in being held accountable and kind of gauging how I'm doing in the process, right? That's one way. Another way is to work with a coach or a mentor in order to have that accountability and help in changing thought patterns and creating these habits, right? So very important to understand that this is foundational, because while the logistical pieces are really important, if you get abroad and you don't have this belief or the habits that are going to allow you to maintain yourself there, then you might have a short-lived win. And I know that if you are putting all this effort into a move abroad, and moving abroad and staying there is a goal for you, then you want to have that success. So how was that? What are your thoughts about self-identity and the power of becoming the kind of person you need to be in order to reach any goal? Do you think there's any merit behind it, or you think, no, I don't think it's that important? Let me know in the comments. Now, this is just one of many tools that I help the members in my program use so that they can have greater success in working toward reaching their dream of living abroad. And also, once they land, that they are more confident in their abilities and are able to handle the uncertainty that comes when you make a big move like that. I would love to talk to you if you would like some help in becoming the kind of person you need to be successful. And I'm going to put a link in the comments where you can find time on my calendar where we can have a conversation to see where you are, where you want to be, who you need to become, and if working with me could help you to bridge that gap. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, feel free to share it, and subscribe. That is all I have for you today. I will see you again next time. Bye for now.